Welcome to the Isto James channel. I am Isto James, and I just got a really cool present from Amazon in the mail. It's one of the best-selling drawing kits they have. Okay, I have to read this though. It's quite a long title, but it's the Hiforney 70-piece drawing set sketching kit. Sketch pencils, art supplies for adults, artists, kids with 3-color sketchbook, graphite, pastel, charcoal, pencils, blending tools. Put more simply, it's just the 70-piece drawing set from Hiforney. So I'm gonna open this up, and so far it's really cool just because it's got a pretty decent packaging. You can tell that you can take this pretty much anywhere you want to go, and hopefully it will have everything in here that we would need. Whoa. Okay, all right. Okay, there's a lot to go over here. All right, let's start with just the sketchbook. Looks like we have a 3-color sketch paper, 30 white paper, 10 black, and 10 tone tan. Okay, that'll work really well, and I'll talk about that later about the 3 different colors. This will not be a full instructional video. This is just to review this and find out if it's a good overall kit if you're wanting to either get into drawing or if you already know how to draw, will it work? And so far, I'm pretty happy with what I see. You can always go get bigger sketchbooks, bigger figurines like what we have. So yeah, let's just start from the top left and go over. We have your very typical pencil set, your normal graphite pencil set. Goes all the way down to 14B up to 5H. For those of you who don't know, B stands for black, H stands for hard. The higher the number on black, the darker it's going to come out on the paper. Yeah, and the harder the graphite is, it won't rub off quite as easily, so you can do some lighter tonalities with it. All right, we got a ruler or a straight edge, which that could be handy depending on what size things you're working with. We have some pastel pencils. Looks like we got 4 different colors. Quick run over with pastel pencils. Generally, they have a lot more pigment in them, depending on what company you use. But it's usually a cleaner, nicer, soft blending tool that you can use. We have some charcoal. We have soft, medium, hard, good. They actually label it for you, which is nice. And the same thing so we have white charcoal and black charcoal in soft, medium, and hard. We have some graphite pencils. We have, and I don't even know the name for this, but it's a tool for transferring colors. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with this thing. And what is it? Oh, awesome! Okay, so I've never had one of these before. I know it took me a second to realize what it is, but it's an extender for your pencil. So once you use a lot of these pencils, or maybe you get a favorite color or anything like that using colored pencils, you wear it all the way down to the nub. And then what you can do, let me just grab one here, is once it gets down to a nub, it's really hard to hold. You can just put this sucker right in here, lock it down, and boom, you got your extension tool. I really wish I had one of these when I did the Star Wars drawing, because I went through so much black in that picture that I actually tried to use, and I was sitting there with the nub trying to get it all out and use as much of it as I could. This would have been a very useful tool. All right, we have a fine liner pen. This is really good for finishing touches. Yeah, this looks like a general size liner pen. We have a white liner pen is what it looks like. Yeah, this is really great too, and I think I'm going to do a couple of drawings with this book and these tools just so we see how it comes out later in the video. Yeah, white liner pens are really good for highlights when you're using those toned papers. You have a nice little X-Acto knife here. That's a brand name. You have a cutter knife. This is good for sharpening the pencils to whatever shape or direction you want to use with that, or I guess cutting up some paper if you need to. We have some blending blunts, blending stumps, whatever you want to call them. This is really good when you're using the charcoal. This is just help you so you can blend out the charcoal a lot better. And you can also use Q-tips, things like that. But these are really good because they're going to last a lot longer than Q-tips. Yep, we have, it looks like a vinyl eraser. Yep, vinyl eraser right there on the label. And then, okay, so a lot of people might not know what this is. This is a sanding board or paper with sanding paper on it. It's good for sharpening any of your tools that you're using, whether you're using like the clumps. We have some, we'll talk about that here in a sec too. This is good for sharpening tools. You can also use it for sharpening your stumps, and yeah, pretty cool. So there's some pretty gritty sandpaper underneath this. You just rip it off and use it there. Cool. All right, and then we have kneaded erasers. So you can buy bigger ones of these. These are really fun to use, especially when using graphite charcoal kits like that. These are awesome, and I'll probably try to use some of that in the rest of this video. Looks like we got some masking tape and I see. Took me a second to figure out what this wood circle is. So you have masking tape just so you can tape parts down and keep edges clean. Do some patterns if you want. This is the stump for our little figurine, our posing person. There we go. Yeah. Now we have our person. You know what? I'm gonna make him a wide receiver in the NFL. He's going for. Oh, this is cool too. They actually have some rubber bands in here. He kind of stretches like the G.I. Joes, the old G.I. Joes from the 90s, 80s, maybe even 70s. So it's a lot more flexible than a traditional figurine, a posing figurine. There's some goods and bads about this. Looks pretty cool. Let's make him a wide receiver from the NFL. He's going out for catch. One-handed. I digress. Let's get back into the drawing. Okay, so we have just some more blending tools here. We have the nice, I don't even know what just not styrofoam, but it's a foam. Pretty sturdy. This is really good for using the graphite and the charcoal as blending options. And then basically your washable Q-tips are, these are really good. Again, great blending tools, and they give you a lot of them so you can practice. We have a couple of standard pencil sharpeners. Cool. So if you don't want to use the sanding board, you can just do the traditional way and sharpen your pencils that way. And then we actually have, it looks like graphite sticks and charcoal or pastels. This is black pastels, I believe. Soft, medium, and hard. Same thing with soft, medium, and hard. Soft just, it comes off a lot easier. You're going to get a lot more dark, more tonality out of it. And the harder it is, the least it will come off, and you can do lighter tones with that. And we got 4 willow charcoal sticks. Cool. You know what? I've never really used these. I've seen a lot of art and artists use them. I guess maybe I'll try these on this video. What these are actual charcoal sticks, and they're fairly light. You can break them apart, and with that, I heard these are really fun to use. You can make all kinds of tonalities and textures, and just that should be fun. So overall, there's our unboxing of this, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with how much they give you. A lot of this is kind of standard issue, but the cool thing about it is they put it all in one kit for you to use. And if you want to try something new, for example, I haven't really used these willow charcoal sticks. This is a great way for you to try just some new things and find out what works in your style or what works best for you. So let's do a couple of drawings using a multitude of these things, but overall I'm pretty impressed. This kit's relatively inexpensive on Amazon, and if you are curious about drawing or you want to try something new, So far, I recommend it just looking at it. But let's do some drawings and find out. I was really excited to break open these willow charcoal sticks first because I've just never used them before. These things are actually much more sturdy than I had expected, and that's probably a good thing though. You wouldn't want these things to break apart as you're making your drawing. So first I'll just create a light background on white paper just to feel out how the charcoal works. And yeah, that came off really easy. I was barely pressing down. And now I'd like to play with some of these blending tools like the pads and the stumps. Now I'm finding that both of these tools work really great with this willow charcoal. I have some graphite sticks in here. Let's see how easy we can put down a layer with these before I move on to some shapes. Yeah, that works really great for covering a lot of space very fast. So I'm just going to create some simple shapes here, and I'm going to use these willow sticks to create them. And then once I have a few shapes laid down, then I'm going to just use some of those blending tools and create some shading and have it look like it has a 3D effect. We have a couple of erasers in here. Let's try them out. I love kneading erasers. You can mold them however you like, and then you can activate their superpower by molding them. Hence the term kneading. Yeah, kneading eraser. Get it? These willow sticks are pretty smooth, but they're very soft too, so they create a little bit of extra dust. So the cool thing about these pad blenders is that if there's too much dust, it'll just wipe it up. Or if you put it down just a little bit too dark, you can make hard lines a little bit softer. I use the erasers to create highlights, but we have some white charcoal in this kit also, so I'm going to use those for just a little bit of extra pop. And there's a soft graphite pencil in here as well, and I'm going to use that just to create some darker lines that will become more bold. This is fun. I'm going to try some smaller shape. Let's see how they come out. Now I want to make a more detailed drawing using the tools that I just experimented with, but I'm also going to use the HB Expert graphite pencils as well, and I'm going to test out a few of the different ones, anywhere from the 6B and on up to the harder values. And to be honest with you, as soon as I opened that kit, I just had this urge to draw the Iron Giant. It was a childhood favorite of mine, and I just got a really strong image in my head of what I wanted to do, and this is kind of what came out. I wanted to keep this simple and quick for the video, so I thought when I drew in Hogarth, I was just going to make him a silhouette. We didn't need to go through the extreme details on this part, but I wanted him in there, so there's Hogarth. As I'm playing around with these different values, I find that these pencils are so smooth. It's so easy to lay down these light, thin layers and then blend them later. I think I'm going to get a really cool, smooth metal look from this, and that's really what I'm going for. Great pencils so far. What I really like about this kit as well is they gave me 3 different kinds of paper to use. You might notice that this drawing has toned paper or tanner color to it. That's so you can just see values a lot better. So darkers are darker, lights are lighter. You're gonna see when I add some white charcoal here in a minute, but it's really cool that they give you these different types of paper to experiment with as well. And I just remembered we have a sanding board in here as well. So I'm going to use that and sand down a really crisp edge so I can get some harder and more crisp, bold lines here on the edges. So now I hope you can see that this white pops so much brighter because I'm using this toned tan paper. And of course, if you use that black paper, it pops even more. And that's just the beauty of having these different colors of paper. Well, after testing this out, I've got to say I'm actually really impressed. This was a lot of fun. The coolest thing about this kit is just how much stuff they actually give you, and it's actually very good stuff. They gave me the tools that I needed to make my vision come to life, and then some. So I would recommend any beginner of art at all, if you have any interest in pencils, this is a fantastic way to go. If you're an intermediate or advanced, this is also pretty good. The coolest thing about it is you'll be able to try out some new things and try some new mediums. But I think the best thing about this is it would just make a really good gift. If you clicked on this video because you were just wondering if it was a good kit or not, then yeah, in my opinion, I give it 2 thumbs up. It was a lot of fun. If you wanted to get this for yourself or give it as a gift to a friend or family member, I left a link in the description below. And if you've actually drawn anything using this kit, please go over to Instagram and tag me at isto_James. That way we can see the beautiful art that you have created. No matter what you do, thank you for checking out this video. I appreciate any feedback. Please go in the comments, tell me what you loved, what you didn't like. Was it helpful?
But while you're there, just don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that share button. Thank you for checking out the Mr. James channel, and we will see you next time.